Hello everyone, welcome back. Most of the students who are preparing for UPSC preliminary examination are finding difficulty in current affairs. And with respect to current affairs, students are not getting clarity what are the sources to refer, especially when they are reading newspaper like the Hindu, they don't know what to read and what to skip. Because of that, they are finding it a lot of difficulty in time management every day. Second most important thing is when it comes to current affairs, you need to understand what is the trend change which is happening, and accordingly if you could strategize your preparation, it will be highly beneficial in clearing this examination. And today's video focuses on two theme components of this. So we will analyze first what are the questions which has been asked in UPSC Prelims 2025, and then we will see what is the pattern in the last 10-12 years in UPSC preliminary examination in current affairs and what are the trend change and strategy. So let's now go into the some of the questions which has been asked in UPSC Prelims 2025. This particular question is pertaining to international relations and it's a factual question. This particular question, it focuses upon Mines and Minerals Regulation Act. So the most important act which talks about critical minerals. In that they are asking about whether India has joined this Mines Security Partnership as a member or not. And then this particular question focuses on international relation and organization, that is NATO, and they are asking about the member countries of NATO. This is a government scheme and they are only asking about the major important provisions of this particular scheme. And in this BIMSTEC international organization, they are asking how many member states are there and when it came into existence, and who are the founding members and what are the recent developments with respect to this particular organization, whether India is leading the tourism sector or not. And this question pertains to prices and medal segment. They are only asking about who are the members of the jury. This particular question, it's a pure factual question. They are only asking about to match the international year. This question pertains to international organization BRICS. So in that they are asking whether Indonesia is a member or not. So most of the international organization questions they are asking us the member countries and when was the recent summit held and what is the theme of that. This particular question pertains to sports, and with respect to sports, they are asking about first Coco World Cup. In that, they asked when, where was the event held, and in the final, who came and who beated whom, and what is the score of them. Again, this particular question also pertains to sports, and but it is on chess segment. In chess, they are talking about the chess Olympiad. So, who became the youngest winner of that, as well as the youngest ever grandmaster. So, two factual questions on chess they have asked about it. Next question, this pertains to railway safety and the technological adaptation such as covers. So with respect to that, they have asked a factual question. This particular question talks about international north-south transport corridor. So they are asking about the connectivity route. So this question talks about the ethanol production and consumption, especially which is used as a feedstock. So they are asking us to compare who are the major producers of ethanol in the world. That's a factual question they have asked about it. Next question, again it talks about a government scheme or yojana. In this particular scheme, they have given what is the target of the scheme, which is the ministry which is implementing that, and what vision they have set under the scheme. Next, this particular question pertains to they have talked about Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Development Authority in India. So how many of these activities will be coming under that or not? That's a question. Again, it's a factual question. So overall, by observing these questions which has been asked in 2025, we can come to some clarities. That is, over the years, if you observe from 2013 to 2025, out from current affairs segment, maximum question was asked in 2013, almost 29 questions out of 100. This year, nearly 23 questions came out of 100 questions. And if you observe over the years also with respect to current affairs segment students, on an average you will be getting 20 to 30 questions. 30 can be the maximum you can expect in current affairs, and minimum you can expect around 20 questions in UPSC preliminary examination on current affairs. So this is going to be the pattern, especially in UPSC prelims examination. And what is the topic is distribution or trend change which is happening in recent years, especially with respect to last year. 15 questions were asked directly from current affairs, and another 8 questions they have linked it as one of the facts with respect to static segment. So overall the number of questions came around 22 to 23 questions. Okay, and what is the area which is going to fetch maximum marks in current affairs segment? If you look at it, Science and technology is a rewarding segment. Whenever you are reading current affairs, you should give maximum focus first to science and technology. And second most utility aspect is polity and governance. And then you can come to the environmental segment. So these three things you should first give priority. Then you can focus upon international relations and organizations. So overall, what I will be suggesting for the students who are preparing for 2026 examination is that you should give maximum weightage first to science and technology. So whenever you are reading newspaper also, in Monday segment, you will be getting every week science and tech column in Hindi newspaper. You can cover that. Second thing, whenever you are reading, you should also give weightage to the polity and governance segment as a second order of priority. And then you can come to the environmental segment where animal species in use and characteristics of animals, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries in use can be given maximum weightage. Fourth most important thing is international relations or organization. Again, here they are only asking about few important things about international organization, especially when it was founded, who are the member countries of it, and recently where the summit was being held, and what are the updates with respect to that, especially the themes of the international organization, which has happened very recently. So these are the questions which they are focusing, especially on this area. So whenever you are reading current affairs, my suggestion would be give weightage to these four primary segment or topics in current affairs. Then you can cover the remaining subjects. Now, let's try to understand whenever you are reading Hindu newspaper, as I said earlier in the video, you should have a proper time management strategy, what to read and what to skip to get clarity on that segment. Now, I will give some idea about today's Hindu newspaper, what are the important sections to read and what to skip. So this is the newspaper of November 3rd, and in this particular newspaper, students, the most important area which you can read is first is multi-party meeting in Tamil Nadu decides to move Supreme Court against SAR. So this is that is special intensive revision, sir. This is going to be very important for this year segment, especially on polity. So while reading the SAR itself, my suggestion would be try to have a holistic view on that. Especially this controversy happened in Bihar also, and Bihar state government has approached the Supreme Court in the past. Now Tamil Nadu is planning, along with this systemic, that is a special intensive revision basics. What I will be suggesting to the students is that go and read the basics of election commission provisions as well. And with respect to sports segment, we can expect some questions in UPSC Prelims 2026, especially on this Women's World Cup, which India has won. So India has beaten South Africa. And where was this game final was happened? And who is the player of the that is the tournament? And who is the player, especially in the final match, who has been given that was performed very well? You need to have all the facts ready with you because those kind of questions can be asked in the preliminary examination. Next, science and technology, as I said, is very important. So ISRO launches GSAT 7R, India's heaviest communication satellite. Go into the basic of this, questions can be asked. So remaining things you can skip, especially when it comes to city news, you don't need to give that much importance to this. So you can skip, you can go to the next page. And in this again they are talking about SAR, especially this special intensive revision. So you can also collect some opinions of this, but what I would be advising is stick to the basics of SAR, that is more than enough, and the basics of election commission. Don't go into the controversies. Then coming to the editorial page, engage the Taliban, don't recognize them. So this is going to be crucial, especially when it comes to mains examination only. As of now, you don't need to give that much importance to this article. And what is important is this model youth gram sabhas. So because this model youth gram sabha, if you look at here, it is implemented by Ministry of Panchayat Raj in collaboration with Ministry of Education, Ministry of Tribal Welfare, and Aspirational Bharat Collaborative. So this has been launched in 2025 only. So we can expect some questions on this in polity and governance segment. So go into the basic of this and try to collect some points, especially the major important provisions of this and where it is implemented. All this can be asked in the examination. So in the editorial page, one important article will be the vision of Model Youth Gram Sabha. Remaining articles, you can skip it. Then coming to the opinion page. In the opinion page here, the climatic alarmism, this topic, especially they have talked about net zero concept here. So you can only go into the basics of net zero and then you can revise that particular concept from environmental perspective. So remaining articles you can skip here. Then going into the next page, text and context. So here welfare dependency or governance reform. So especially sensational things we can skip it. But what is important is they are talked about a term called multidimensional poverty. This can be asked in economic segment. So go into the basics of MPI, that is multidimensional poverty as well as the multidimensional poverty index. So who is the rank who has been in India who is performing very well, which is state, and who is performing very worst. So both of that you should have a good clarity here. Then the next particular page are social media platforms dying a slow death. Here they have introduced a new terminology that is called enshittification. This you can go into that because whenever in technological aspect any updates are coming, questions can be expected. As we have seen in UPSC Prelims in 2025, most of the questions came from science and technological segment. So you can go into the basics of this enshittification. So have a read on this article and make some 4 to 5 points on this. Again, zero tolerance for any form of violence, Chief Election Commission. So this Election Commission's basics, have a holistic look at it. We can expect some questions with respect to SAR controversy as well as with respect to the frequent coverage of this Election Commission related things. And these bigger assembly elections and all these you can skip it. No need to cover for prelims examination. And coming to the next page here. So ICMR 6 partners to develop antibody against Nipah virus. Go into the basics of Nipah virus. What, when, why, where, how. All these 5 questions you should understand. So go systematically cover all the things and try to make notes out of that. We can expect questions in science and technological segment. Then experts join hands for Ramsar site tag for wetlands in Assam sanctuary. This is going to be important for environmental segment. Go into the basics of Ramsar site and also revise the important recently added Ramsar sites in India, which can be asked in environmental segment. So this particular page can be completely skipped. Then coming to the world or international affairs, this is going to be crucial, especially when international organizations are coming here in news. So as of today, they are talking about Nigeria. So in Nigeria, there is a terrorist organization called Boko Haram, and Christians and Muslims fights is going on for a long time. Go into the basics. Any particular terrorist organization are coming means try to make notes out of it because that can be asked as a factual segment in examination. Now coming to the sports segment, as we have told already that you need to cover complete factual segment on this India versus South Africa final match, where it was happened, who is the player of the series, player of the tournament, and who performed very well in the final. So what are the medals given? All this you should cover. Anything can related to that can be asked in the preliminary examination. As we have seen last year, 2 questions has been asked on that sports column. Then coming to the most important page, science and tech column. As we have seen, the most rewarding area in current affairs is science and tech column. But while reading the current, like science and tech column in Hindu newspaper, selectively read it. Suppose if it is going to be important, then you can cover. In this particular article, it's not going to be that much important. You can skip it easily. So, but whenever you are anything which comes from space technology, defense technology, bio and nanotechnology, internet related technologies or communication technologies, and artificial intelligence and robotics, you should give maximum weightage in science and tech column in Hindu newspaper because we can expect questions on that particular segment. So the students who are preparing for UPSC preliminary examination, what I would be advising is that you should have a proper strategy, as I said in the earlier of my video. What is a strategy? You should try to systematically give weightage to the most important area. First is science and tech, second is polity and governance, third is environment, fourth is IR. And whenever you are reading newspaper, make notes out of this segment. While covering the environment, give weightage to animal species in news. And whenever you are coming to the international segment, please also read the important geographical places in news because that also can be asked separately in the UPSC preliminary examination. So these 4 areas, if you give maximum weightage to the coming UPSC prelims, you can fetch maximum marks. First, try to read everyday Hindi newspaper. As I said in today's video, try to do proper time management strategy, give weightage to the most important topics and makes notes out of it. And finally, before appearing 1 month before the exam, you can look at the like magazines which are coming in the market and do a value addition from that, from these 4 topics only. So in this manner, if you prepare, you can fetch maximum marks and you can easily clear the preliminary examination. Thank you, students.